Joining us right now, a very special guest, Representative Greg Walden, Republican of Oregon. Congressman Walden is now leading the effort to try to get a bill to the floor, which will change the House rules to require this stuff be available for 72 hours, not just for us to read, but for the congressman to read. Hey, Congressman Walden, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, Jerry, great to join you today. Thank you for talking about this subject. This reform is long overdue.
Well, you've got something going on. This is a little bit inside baseball, so let's explain it a little bit. When a bill is introduced, it's referred to committee, and it can be bottled up there till heck freezes over. You know, you have a situation where unless you get it out of committee and to the floor, you may never see a vote. So what you're doing, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got something called a discharge petition, which will blast it out of the committee, get it to the House floor for a vote. You need 218 signatures, one more than half the House, to get that thing to the floor. How you doing?
We're at 181 members of the House.
How many Democrats?
Signed the discharge petition.
How many Democrats?
Five. You can count them on one hand, five. Although there are, I think, about 36 or 7 that are co-sponsors of the underlying bill. There are 34 of those who are Democrat co-sponsors of this resolution that haven't signed the petition to actually bring it up for a vote. So,
well, dogies, like my namesake, Mr. Clampett, used to say. How many of these blue dogs are really going to sign the discharge petition? Or are we once again seeing the blue dogs, I don't know, Heath Schuler and some of these other guys? They're just the Pelosi puppies again, right?
Well, we're trying to get everybody the opportunity to sign the discharge petition. It's available. It's right down to the west desk. You just go down in front of the House there, ask for discharge petition number 6, the Walden discharge petition, and all you have to do is just sign your name. And you don't even have to vote for the bill. It just brings it to the floor. But who wouldn't want to vote for a bill that changes the rules to give the people and the press and the politicians the ability to at least read these things 72 hours in advance? Frankly, it ought to be longer than that. But at a minimum.
Well, especially if it's 1,000 pages, it should be longer than 72 hours because I think it would take all of us that long to read it in the first place.
Yeah, I'm a speed reader. I don't know if I can go through 1,000 pages. Well, I guess.
No, Jed. No, Evelyn Wood couldn't go through it. And she taught the course. We checked it out. And sweet old Evelyn could not have read the cap and tax bill.
God bless.
Could not have read the health care bill.
Talking to Representative Greg Walden of Oregon. Congressman, which are the 5 Democrats that have signed it already? And ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. If yours is not among these, you might want to call them. Who are the 5 good guys so far?
Brian Baird, Washington State, and it's his rule. This is his legislation, by the way. He and John Culberson of Texas launched this. I'm a co-sponsor of it, but Brian's really been the big advocate, and he's been willing to step up and grab this by the horns and help lead this discharge petition effort with me.
Okay, who are the other 4?
So Parker Griffith, we've got Dan Boren of Oklahoma, Walt Minnick of Idaho. Let's see, what is that 4?
That's 4.
Who am I leaving out? I'm leaving out a 5th. Parker Griffith, Brian Baird, Walt Minnick, Gene Taylor, Mississippi.
Taylor, okay. So we've got 5 people who are in the Democratic Party who actually can claim to be fiscal conservatives at this point, maybe a little bit independent of Ms. Pelosi. But where are the rest of these other guys?
Hey, look, this is one of those things where if they don't want to stand up to their leadership. Now, I want to make something real clear here. Both parties have operated the House this way when they've been in the majority. So a pox on both houses.
Yeah.
But it is time to change. If there was two clear messages out of all the town halls and all the tea parties and all that was, we don't like the policy. And by the way, you didn't even read the bill, and we can't read the bill. You got to change the process.
Well, gee, I thought we were going to have the most open and honest House on record under Ms. Pelosi. I mean, have you talked to her? Have you talked to Henny Stoyer? I mean, Steny Hoyer, whatever his name is, the majority leader over there?
Hey, look, here's the deal. Last week, the House, by a voice vote, said when the Energy and Water Appropriations Bill comes to the floor, which is on the floor as we speak, that we would have 48 hours to consider it. Okay? That was last week, voice vote, not a single objection in the House. Give us 48 hours, put it online, let us read it. Oh, yeah. Guess what happened? Last night, late at night, they took it up to the Rules Committee. Less than 18 hours later, we're voting on it. So Earlier this
Amazing.
week,
Congressman, I'm sorry I have to cut you off. We're going into a hard break. Congressman Greg Walden talking about his bill to break loose some of the logjam in the House. Actually read the bill. Baird, Griffith, Boren, Minnick, and Taylor. If your Democratic congressman is not among that 5 group, you need to call him right now. Congressman, thanks for joining us.